right. Can everyone see the screen? Can you put your thumbs up? Okay, thank you. All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Rachel and I'm the Director of Online Learning at the GSE. So today I'm going to cover the topics on how to get my Blackboard classroom ready for the fall semester. So I prepared this presentation with my team. So Veronica Schutzkel, she's assistant director, and then Lynn Hooley, she's the program manager. So they are here too to support you. And then we also have Lindsay Karp. She's the senior instructional technologist from Fordham IT, Faculty Technology Center. So during the meeting, during the presentation, if you have any questions or anything, then use the chat function to ask any questions, or you can wait until the end part when we are having the Q&A session. Okay. So thanks for joining. Welcome. All right. So today's agenda is, so we have 1.5 hour session today. So first 1 hour, I'm going to cover the information of the current status and what we have to do, what's the needs that we have to work on. And then mainly I'm going to introduce you the 3 tools that we are suggesting to use for your course building. The first is a course self-checklist, and then GSE syllabus template, and then the last one is Blackboard course template. So first hour, we are going to cover this one, and then the 30-minute, the last 30 minutes, we are going to have this hour for open Q&A or anything. Even if it's not related to these topics, you can ask any questions if it's related with creating your course. So the course goal is to have your Blackboard classroom ready by applying GSE online course checklist and syllabus template and Blackboard course template. Okay, I'm going to skip the objectives. Okay. All right, so before we start, let's have a little fun activity. Oops, okay. So I'm going to share the whiteboard activity on the Zoom. So Zoom has different interactive tools that you can use in your class, and whiteboard is one of the tools that you can use. So using the tool, please type or draw first your program, and then second, something you do more since the stay-at-home order, or something that you started learning, okay? So let me stop sharing this PowerPoint. Then let me share whiteboard. Right, and for the program, so I'm going to put our programs under GSE, CNT, and eLab, oops, and other. So with the shared screen, you will see that there is annotation tools. It's on the top menu. If you click, then I think from the viewers, participants' point of view, you can see the annotation tools. Then using the annotation tools, first circle the program you belong to, and then type in or draw anything that you are doing these days. Yeah.
Where is the annotation tool?
If you scroll, if you hover at the top of your the Zoom and you see view options, you click the little down arrow and you can click annotate. Oh, and yeah, you should be able to draw on the whiteboard.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
So I see that we have at least each one from each department, including others. And we are obviously eating a lot and taking walks, baking bread, learning tech tools, go to wine.com and using Zoom a lot, obviously. That's what we are doing right now. So Lynn Hooley, your arrow, does it mean that you are the one who wrote down the go to wine.com? Are you on mute? Lynn, you are on mute.
Can you hear me now? I was actually
Yes.
going to give thumbs up, but I couldn't figure out how to do it. I thought go to wine.com is a good idea.
Yes. Yeah, ordering from Amazon, DoorDash, taking siestas in the middle of the day. That sounds good. That's something that we couldn't do that when we were working, not remote. Yeah. Okay. All right, so I think we are most of us are using our times fun and nice. So thank you. And then read. Okay. All right. So thanks for your input here. So as you practiced here, so whiteboard is something that you can also use at your classroom. Okay. All right. So let me stop sharing. Then go back to my slide. All right. Okay. All right, so let me talk about the needs of creating, transitioning in an efficient and effective way to the online classes. So this article, the article is linked here. By the way, I'm going to share the presentation file after the session, so you will have all the links and information from the presentation, so you don't have to write down. So anything underlined is has the link, so you can click and go for the further information. So this article was published in April, but was still talking about the fall semester, already talking about the fall semester. So basically, it's saying that in the spring term, when the pandemic happened, we had to move quickly to online. So everyone was understanding that we didn't have much time to prepare online learning, and then, including students. So they were really understanding that we couldn't really prepare quality online learning. But now we are preparing the fall semester. We already provided spring semester and summer semester right now online, and then we are preparing fall semester. So when we are having the third time, then students, they are expecting more because they know that we had some time to prepare. So, so we need to focus on how we can use our time to prepare quality online learning to meet this expectation of students. So to meet these expectations, our Graduate School of Education actually provided some guidelines. So about 2 weeks ago, Dean's Office provided a letter to all faculty, including adjunct faculty, about how to prepare the course continuity for the fall semester. So the letter was basically saying that we need to plan for the fall semester with the intention of delivering most, if not all, of your course content online. And then the message also outlined GSE-wide course standards that all 4 courses are expected to meet, so that we can ensure that our students continue to receive the high quality instruction that they have become accustomed to receiving. So the letter laid out all the steps and guidelines and template and everything that our online team also have been suggested. So if you haven't checked the letter yet, then please check the letter. And then today's session is also providing more the consistent way of the way to build your course with the letter. Okay, and also along with the letter, there was a student survey result provided to you. So if please check this student survey when you have time, because this survey was conducted right at the end of the spring term. after the students took online courses. So it was asking what they are thinking about the current situation and then their expectations on the online learning. So basically the survey was showing that our students remain generally satisfied with their courses and they feel like a valued member of the GSE community, so which is pretty good. So they understand the situation. They are very understanding that we have to take online courses because of all the situation, and they and most of them they feel that they have a strong skill set for taking online learning technology wise. And the survey was showing that students are expecting more consistent way of providing quality online learning experience instead of different ways of providing the online courses. And also interactive and community building sessions instead of just lecture or information delivering session. And they are expecting less one-way lecture type live sessions. So when you are having the Zoom live sessions, then they want to have it more like interactive session rather than lecture, like one-way lecture. And they, the students, several of them, they showed that the sitting in Zoom classroom without any activity is really painful. So some of them, they said more sitting time less than 2 hours expected. So if it's more than 2 hours, then it's really painful. I think we are also all are experiencing these things since we are having meetings on Zoom most of the time these days. All right. Okay, so let me talk about creating online courses, and I want to emphasize that when we are creating online course for the 4th semester, we have to try to find a way to be very efficient and effective way to do that, because creating course, it takes time and resources. It takes lots of times actually. So especially if you want to create quality online learning. So for example, we have 2U partners when we are providing online programs, so 2U courses. So when we are planning 2U courses, each course we assign at least 7 months or more than that. So almost like, it seems like a 1 year time we are assigning for course development. And when developing the course, there is not just the instructor, there are lots of supporting people to work together, including instructional designers, course strategists, developers, videographers, like evaluation specialists, like so many people. So it takes lots of time and resources. So when you are thinking about creating courses for 4th semester, we only have just a couple months. So we have very little time, and then you don't have much resources compared to the regular online courses because you will be the one leading the course development as an instructor. And of course, you have some support from IT and from our team, but you have relatively less resource you can use. So you have to figure out what's the best way to create your course efficiently and effectively. So if I may explain more about it, so think of it, when you are creating the course, think of it as creating a movie. So as an instructor, you have content and you are the expert of the content, and you usually know how to teach face-to-face in the class. So you are the expert of the content. So if we compare it with creating the movie, that means that you have a scenario and you know the plot and you have everything in your mind. But depending on the time that you have and the fund, the money that you have and resources like the actors, actresses, or editors or music directors, so many different people that you are usually working with the movie. If you have less resource and less time, then you can create just black and white, like independent movie without no sound, something like that. But if you have lots of resource and money, then you can create a blockbuster kind of a movie too. So it's pretty much the same as creating online course too. If you have lots of time and money and resources, then of course you can create really good online courses. I mean, it doesn't mean that when you have little time and money, you are not creating a good course, but the expectation can be different. Okay. Right. So what's the difference between the online learning and then face-to-face learning? So when you are creating online course, the big difference is that all the students, they are not in the class, they are not communicating with you directly. Students usually read things from the course, the LMS system. So they should get the information from the course shell in the LMS system. So that means that everything should be clearly displayed and explained in the course. So clear course goals and objectives and aligning any learning and assessment activity with them is the key. And when you are explaining things in the course, that should also include like how to start the course and what students are expected to do each week, and how their final course grade will be calculated and monitored, and why students are doing some assignment and activities. And you also have to consider universal design and copyright. So there are lots of information because online setting, it's really difficult to communicate with individual students, and students, they need to find the information from the course. So repeating and reminding key information is necessary, and then it's actually recommended. So if it's important information, you can like display the information like more than one place, not just syllabus, but at the announcement or module content or different places. And another big difference at the online learning is the role of the teacher. So, okay, let's see. So it takes more time and effort to facilitate and monitor the course for faculty, for the instructor. And online setting, the teacher presence is very important because you are not physically seeing the students and instructor directly. So to show your presence, you are also expected to check your online course at least once a day. It seems it's too much work, but it's not something that you have to do, but it's more like expected to do. And weekly announcement is recommended, and also you are required to respond to your students' email or questions on the board within 48 hours, but actually 24 hours is expected. I mean, especially these days when we are so used to emailing and texting and SNS, our students, especially younger generation, they are expecting more like instant response. So I think we should understand that. Okay. Okay. So how do we know that the course that I'm creating is good enough? Whether it's meeting the good quality standard or not? It's actually pretty difficult because good and bad is a very subjective thing to measure or to define. So for general online courses, for normal online courses, actually there are lots of online learning rubrics or quality guidelines that you can use. So I displayed three most commonly used rubrics for online learning. So quality matters, and also Open Sunny course quality rubrics, and best practice checklist for Jesuit education and online learning. So these rubrics are pretty good if you have just regular online course that you created, but it's pretty general, and that it might be a little difficult to apply to your course right now for the core course continuity, because we have very limited time and resources. We are in the very specific situation now. So because of that, our GSE Online team created a new rubric for you. So we are calling it as GSE Online Course Self-Checklist. So this is a checklist you can use So using the checklist, you can either plan your course building, or you can review your course that you are working on right now. So let me show you this checklist. So PowerPoint presentation that I'm going to share later, it has the link. So if you click the link, then it goes to the place where all the resources that we are covering today. So I guess you are not seeing the web page right now, right? No. Okay, so let me stop sharing the PowerPoint and then let me share the web page. Okay. So when you click the link, then it will go to our GSE online learning page. In this site, there is a section for webinar 1, getting your Blackboard classroom ready. So on this page, there are all the resources that I'm covering today. And this one, GSE online course self-checklist, it has the checklist that you can use. So there is a Google document version and then Word document version. So let me open up the Google document version. So when you are using the Google document version, either you can download it or you can save it as your copy. So this checklist, it's like a rubric, but this checklist has 5 items, 5 sections. So the first one is basic setup, and the second one is overview and basic instruction. And the third one is weekly module and content. Fourth is accessibility and usability. And the last one is managing your course. So first is checking whether you are ready to build your course. So it's basically just checking whether you are able to locate your course in Blackboard and check your roster, student roster, and also whether you are able to log into your Zoom account, the Fordham Zoom account as a host. So these are basic things that you need to do. But if you have any problem, then please contact helpit@fordham.edu. Oops, I think I clicked the wrong one. Okay. So after that, at the Blackboard course, we are recommending you to build this kind of content. So at the landing page, there is a course title and banner and announcement. And left side menu on the Blackboard, we recommend you include like home, instructor information, start here, modules and weeks, and migrate, email, and student support. So these are basic left side menu you want to have for your course. And within these menu items, just make sure that you have all the information, all the key information that students are expecting to see, which are listed here, like instructor information, required text, textbooks, and course goal and objectives, and course schedule. I think this is really important, and grading policy and assessment, and student expectation and etiquette, academic policy, and student support and resources. So these are basic content you want to include in your course. And each module, normally we have each week or each module. Then within each module, students are expecting to see this kind of content, so like introduction of the module, learning activity, and live classroom information when we are going to have the live session, the topics, and also assessment activity, like any discussion board, discussion items, or writing assignment, and what's next. So anything that should be happened in that week should be displayed in the weekly module. And this accessibility and usability is university-wide the standard we want our faculty to consider. So accessibility and usability is really important in online course. So you want to check these items when you are building the course content. I'm not going to read everything, okay? And the last item is once you finish your course and when you are running your courses, and there are certain things that you want to do for facilitating the course. So 1 week before the course starts, have I posted my welcome message to the announcement? And have I checked the classroom roster one more time? And have I checked the syllabus in week 1? So these are the items that you want to check 1 week before your course start. And every day, of course, you want to check your email or discussion board. And every week, you want to send out at least like weekly announcement and also finish any grade that you promise to your students to give from the previous week. So this is the checklist. This is more like a guideline. So use this when you are planning your course building or checking your course. And if you have any questions about the details, then of course you can reach out to one of our online learning team. All right, so let me go back to the slide. Oops. I think I have to share. So in the checklist, I just mentioned that you also have to create your syllabus. So actually, syllabus has most of the key information that students need to see. So building syllabus, if you build your syllabus, then you are actually halfway done already for your course building, because the syllabus usually have all the course schedule, activities, and any information students need. So for building the syllabus, last year our GSE Online team offered the suggested syllabus template for CNT program, but this time our Dean's office also took it and then made it more general for the entire graduate school of education. So the link also has the course syllabus that you can use. And so let me go to the syllabus. So again, this page has all the information that you want to see. So in this page, so GSE course syllabus template. So this is the link that you can check for the syllabus. So this syllabus template is already shared through the message to faculty from Dean's office 2 weeks ago, and then we also sent it out from the newsletter, the online learning team newsletter. But I also included the link over here. So you must have the link everywhere. So if you want to use the syllabus for building your course template, then just click the link. And then it will ask you to copy the template, because the linked document is a master course, so master syllabus. So you want to have a copy on your drive and then use it. So make a copy, then it will automatically create a copy into your drive. Then you will see the course template. So the title will be copy of the syllabus template revised. So you can just use it for your own course. So how to use a syllabus? There is an instruction over here. So red text is sample text. So replace the examples with your own content. And blue text is the instruction. It's for your information. So basically you can replace the red content with your course content. And then blue text, you just read and delete. So then you can build your own syllabus. And of course, this is a guideline. It's a suggested way to build your syllabus. So depending on your course content, and then you can, of course, change your syllabus, and then you can check it with your program chair. So it starts with the course title and instructor information, course description, course objectives, and required textbooks, readings, and you can see that also if you have any questions about the course materials, you can also contact the library, our liaison, Kirsten. And here's about the instructors section. Suje was kind enough to offer her information as example. So her example is here. And then course schedule. So course schedule is it's pretty important part because it shows each week what you are going to cover in the class. And especially for the online learning, we separated this async material, async activity, and the live session, and then assignment. So for students, it will be really helpful to plan their study time and their study by allocating different content and activities at the async and the live sessions. The course schedule and evaluation procedure and assignment detail. This should be course specific. And then the last 2 pages, general course expectations and university policy and resources. But these are general information, so you can just use it as it is. All right, so that was course syllabus. I'm going to stop sharing. So let me go back to the PowerPoint. Okay. All right, so like I mentioned at the syllabus template, you have to plan your synchronous and asynchronous session for the online learning, especially when our students are very concerned about sitting at the Zoom session too long. So creating your async, allocating your course content into async and sync, it really depends on your learning goal and objectives. And you also have to consider what kind of learning activities can be done. So at the next webinars, the second and third webinar, we are going to cover more about how to create your async materials. But even before that, you want to consider what kind of content or activity can be in the async materials, like a video recorded lecture or readings and things like that, or in the live session, live Zoom session. So there are things that you have to consider. So one thing that you can think about when planning your async and sync materials is study hours. So there are different standards that the university is following, and according to that, 1 credit course should have, 1 credit course should have 45 hours of study time. So that means that if it's a 3 credit course, then 135 hours should be allocated. So that means if we have like 15-week course, then 9 hours per week should be allocated. So 9 hours, if we are having 2 hours of Zoom sessions, then you want to put async materials into 7 hours. So it might be a bit like tricky and difficult to think about how much time that it will take. And we cannot be very precise. We cannot be like accurate. I mean, there's no like definite like hours that takes for each individual. So, but as an instructor, you are the one who knows the content the best. So have the best guess and allocate the content into async and sync. So this is part of the message from the Dean's office when you are planning the course continuity. So this is suggested hours. So for example, if we have 15 week, then 2 hours weekly live session, Zoom session is recommended, and then put 9 hours. And then 9 hours. Activity. I think it's included, yeah. And then 7 sessions, then 2.45 hours weekly, and then other recordings, and then other async materials. And there is alternative too. So this is just suggested hours, but it also should be reviewed as an instructor. You should review whether it's appropriate for your content. So again, the suggested hour is 2 hours of async materials. And for the async materials, the learning activities you can consider, and they can be video lectures, reading materials, checking outside the links and resources, and preparing student presentations, group projects, discussion board, and quiz test, and writing assignment, and more. Right. The last one, so this is about, I'm going to talk about the Blackboard course template. So why use a template? So we are providing our courses using Blackboard. So Blackboard is university LMS system, and using Blackboard university LMS system is important because we can have consistent way of providing courses to the students, and also our Fordham IT, they can help provide technical support for not just for the faculty, but also to the students. So we are using Blackboard, but when you are using the Blackboard, when you have a new course, then automatically there is one course share assigned to you. And when you are looking at the course, then this is just the first look of the course shell. And as you can see, there is no like menu, like learning modules or syllabus or anything that I mentioned before on the left side. And in the middle, there are just too many menu. So to build a nice course, you actually have to work on like deleting and adding tools and building the modules by yourself. So it might be a little tedious, and it takes some time for you to work on it. So to prevent that, GSE online course template is created by our team. And also we created this with Steve D'Agostino from the Provost office. He's the director of online learning. So we worked together and created a course template. So this is just the look of the course template. So as you can see, there is a banner on the top corner, top part, and then we cleaned the landing page. So there is only announcement that you can use. And then on the left side, there are menu like home, instructor information, syllabus, learning modules, discussion board, my grade, email, and help support. So so you can check this course template. And if you want, I and Steve can apply this template to your course so that you can build your course using this template. So because of the time, I'm not going to go through it, but let me show you the Blackboard template quickly. Okay, so I have too many courses, okay. So this is the landing page of the Blackboard template. So of course you can customize your course title and banner image and announcement. So instructor information. So thanks to Suje again. We used the Suje's information. Of course, I got permission from her. So here is the example page of about the instructor and contact information and office hours and ask instructor discussion board. And here is a little instruction of how to update your instructor bio web page. And then syllabus. There are sections that you can also use to build your syllabus content, and also by default we included class etiquette and expectations and learning modules. I put only module 1 because you can duplicate module 1, 2, 3, 4 depending on how many sessions or weekly sessions you have. And each module we created the section: introduction, discussion, and readings and viewing, a live session, and discussions, assignment, and what's next. So by using this template, you don't have to build from scratch. So if you already taught your Blackboard course before, or if there is other instructor already used Blackboard previously, then I recommend you copy the course from the previous course and into your new course. But if you have to build the course from scratch, from the beginning, then I recommend you use this template, apply it to your course, and then fill in the content and revise the content for your course. Okay. So let me go back to the PowerPoint. I don't know, it's keep getting back to that activity. I don't know why. All right, the next session. So if you want, then let me and Steve know. If you want to see the template and or apply the template to your course, then you can email me and Steve directly. Then we can have it applied to your course content. Okay.
Rachel, I have a question, or
sure,
save it for later. No,
we are actually done. I was going to say that that was actually the last slide for today, and then we have contact information here, and then Q&A.
Oh, beautiful. So I have a course that currently is on Blackboard, and it has all the the PowerPoints are uploaded and reading assignments and syllabus and everything. Is there a way to transmit that information into the new GSC Blackboard format or not?
Yes, so as far as I know, I think Lindsay, you can also add, but as far as I know, there are different ways to apply the template. So you can just apply the structure to your new course, or you can just replace the entire course. But your case, I think you want to keep the content, but apply the structure and the look and feel, right?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. So definitely we can do that.
Oh, we can do that. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Because I like that format. I mean, it looks pretty clean. But I don't want to upload all the stuff that's already there.
Right, of course. Yeah, right. So Lindsay, that's right? I mean, can you confirm that we can apply the template like that?
Yeah, so you can apply templates, which will give the structure, and then you can manipulate content. It's a little harder, though, once the content's there. So if content areas are named differently, it's just going to populate like more menu options, but you can always hide and remove and customize your course. And then you can say, let's say you have an item, you could say move item, and you can pick which area in the Blackboard course you want to move it to. So if you've already built out some content, you can move it over. We don't want like templates erasing your content, it won't, but if you want, as long as the names of those content folders don't match up with the template names, when we apply the template, it should be okay, and then you can move it.
Okay, and once I move them over, I still will have the old version?
You just remove the areas that you're not working with.
No, I understand, but let's say I transfer, I move the content from one version to the next, it still archives the old version, what I had?
From the previous,
like last semester?
Yeah,
There's a tool called Course Copy, and it retains the information of your old semester and just moves the content over into your new course.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm asking. So I need to copy it first, or?
No, just wait for the template. If you can wait for the template first.
Okay.
If you apply to the new course, then you have a lot less issues.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Susan, probably it's better that you send me, including Steve, email with the course name
Okay.
Those two course name, the original, the previous one that you want to use the content, and then the new course shell where you want to have the template applied and then move the content.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
I will. Thank you, Rachel.
Rachel, Jill had asked to just show the contact information slide one more time. And I also sent to everyone through the chat box a link to our Google site where all the contacts are listed there.
Oh, okay. Oh, thank you. Yeah, so actually the link that Veronica shared, it's the same information, the main contact information at the bottom. So let me share my screen. So when you go to the link that Veronica just put at the chat, this is a landing page of our GSE online course continuity support page. And left side menu, you can check the newsletter and also webinar that we are providing. But the landing page, if you scroll a little down, then there is a main context over here. And this is the content that I displayed on that PowerPoint. So it's the same contact information. So basically for any pedagogical concerns and inquiries, you can send email to any of us. And we have Lindsay for the IT, and we have Kirsten for library, and then we also have BlackBoard, BlackBoard support over here. Any other questions? Hi, Kip.
Hi, am I still muted?
No, we
Okay.
hear you.
All right, so I was hoping to get, and I know that you talked about this in the past, I was hoping to get today an understanding of how to use the breakout rooms. And I know that you've spoken about that multiple times, and so if you don't have time to talk about it today, could you maybe direct me to the email, the last one of these sessions that might have been recorded so that I can watch that and teach myself how to use breakout rooms in the class?
Sure. Breakout rooms. Okay. I think we are not. We are doing the breakout room exercise at the second webinar, right, Veronica?
We're doing synchronous activities in webinar 3 next week, and you can look at the old webinar 3 recording. But on the Google site that I just sent out, I remember in one of our newsletters we included links to a YouTube channel where a teacher guides you through the easy way to set up breakout rooms. So if you just give me a minute, I'm going to find that link and I'll put it in the chat there.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Sure, no problem.
Any other questions?
This has been very helpful. Thank you all for putting it together.
Oh, thank you. Okay. And we have Lindsay here too. So if it's like technical questions, or I mean, she's also good at suggesting different ways of creating and planning content. So if you have any questions, or if you want to share what you are working on, then please feel free to do that.
Okay,
Sean?
so
Yes.
I'm putting into the chat okay, actually you finish first and I'll explain in a minute because I'm just setting up the chat.
Okay, so Sean, yeah.
Yeah, what software is available to students in terms of if we wanted them to do something like create their own screencast or do things like that, what tool set do they have available to them?
I think, Lindsay, this is something you can answer.
So we're comprising in a bunch of committees the list of recommended software for different tool types, like whiteboarding, which ones do we recommend, and screencasting, which tools do we recommend. The one that I recommend just offhand, because it works really well with the browsers, is called Nimbus. It's an attachment, so in Firefox or Chrome, you can add this attachment. And I think one of the workshops that you're going to be attending in a few days is going to go over that. What you can do is you can create screen captures and annotate, or you can record your screen And it's not necessarily just from the browser window. Once you've activated it through the browser, you can record your screen and do a couple things. You can get the microphone, whatever you're doing on the computer. And then there's some very easy to do like trimming tools. You just cut the front and the back off, and then you can save it as a document. There's also an enhanced version you can pay for it to get like make animated GIFs or other things too, which I haven't had to do, but those are ones that are easy. They're integrated in the browser. It doesn't matter what operating system they're running. But there's going to be an entire list of recommended tools and software that are available to people based off of the type.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so I inserted the links there. Everyone can take a look at the chat. There's a teacher, Russell Stannard, who creates really great training videos, and actually there's a lot of different topics from Zoom to Google Docs and Google Drive and everything in between. So I linked the specific Zoom breakout room video, but also his overall site, so you can check both of those out. And the videos are generally 12 minutes or less, so it's not too time intensive.
Thank you very much.
Sure, no problem.
If I go back to Sean's question about what kind of software is or technology available to our students, I think besides what Lindsay was talking about, generally our students, for our students, it's free to use Microsoft Word, Microsoft like programs, and all other programs. I think most of the programs that they need to do their assignment or homework is available for free from Fordham IT. And when they go into the myfordham.edu, then there are like lots of links to different software, like statistics software and like various softwares. Yeah. Okay. And I think Google Suite is a really good tool for students too. Yeah. Including
so
YouTube.
Fordham has Microsoft Office 365 available to everyone. That's done either in the cloud, they can do it through the browser, or download the software to their computer. They get up to 5 licenses. The Google Suite's been really great. We've integrated some features into BlackBoard, so you can use them from the tool types in the cloud resources there. And the other like statistical software and everything, that's being available, but Fordham's also working on creating a virtual environment. They're going to be using this tool called a Porto, and it will have other applications for them available there. So they're working on whatever was available in some of the labs on campus. They're trying to put them in a virtual environment so that students and faculty will have access to those tools. So that's in development right now, and once that's completed, they'll advertise it, and everyone will be able to do that. So that's also another one of those, it doesn't matter what environment you're running, you can use it within the browser and access all these additional software.
I also want to remind that the Zoom account that we are having, it's also available for our students too. So not just the instructors and faculty, students, they have the host, the professional account. So they can have unlimited number of meetings. They can have like 300, I think 300 participants they can have for the meeting. I don't think they will, but yeah, so they can use it for their group discussions, student work and things like that. So you can also recommend students if they need to do the group work, group presentation, they have to do that, then you can recommend or require them to use the Zoom.
Yeah, I also want to remind everyone at this time that on Tuesday we have a webinar at the same time, 10:30 to 12:30 this coming Tuesday, and that's all about asynchronous materials and the types of activities you could do asynchronously with your students. And then on Wednesday at the same time, 10:30, we're having a webinar about synchronous activities and how to manage your overall online class as you're moving through the semester. So you're free to join us at that time or check out the recordings at your own time later on.
And could you remind us how we can access those recordings after the fact? Because I know I'd like to hear what's going on Wednesday, but won't be available in real time.
Mm-hmm. So you should be, have you been receiving the GSE online newsletters every week? Okay, great. So when we have the recording available after the session, it might take a few days because then we have off for July 4th weekend, and Zoom usually takes a while to actually process the whole recording. So I suspect that on Monday when we get back, we'll shoot out a newsletter with the recordings that you can access at that time.
Gotcha. Thank you.
You're
and also, let me share the screen again. So this web page, like I mentioned, there are information on the webinar 1, 2, 3 on the left side. So we will post our recordings on this website too. So for example, if you want to check your webinar 3 recordings, then there is the information. And this is the previous recording and slide. We offered this May, so it's it's about 2 months ago. But of course, we are going to update slide a little, and then we will post new recordings here. So this is the place you can see the recording.
You can, right, exactly. You can see the old recording in the meantime if you want to get a head start before the new webinar launches next week. And this site I actually put in the chat box a little bit earlier on, but let me rechat it just so everyone sees it, okay?
Thank you. All right, so we have 2 minutes. Is there any other last question or anything?
No? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for joining the webinar. It was good to see you all.
Thanks very much. Take care. Good luck, everybody.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.